We go. All right. So, welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. I am going to do some live Q&A questions for you today. If you want to ask some questions or get a reading, you can do that. Definitely post your questions in the chat box and I will answer them for you. I will do a general reading as well as any specific questions about astrology, what's going on with the energy with that. So on that note, I did want to address some of the energy that's been playing in our cosmos the last couple days. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling ridiculously stressed isn't the right word, because I have been doing a life success and coaching course with To Be Legacy, and also with coaching with my partner. And what I have noticed in the last few days is this ridiculously frustrating energy. I called it cabin fever. It's almost as if I didn't want to be around people, but I was also feeling isolated at the same time. And so as I'm feeling frustrated and antsy and feeling like my skin is too tight, almost kind of felt like how I did before I lost all the weight, just uncomfortable and stretched too thin, a little bit frustrated. I was very hard to please. A couple of the things that were going on was irritability, just massive, ridiculous irritability, to the point where I was looking for an opportunity to cat scratch, just be nasty. And I recognized that energy and I immediately shut down any social activities, because the last thing I wanted to do was lash out on people that I love or care about. Literally canceled a trip to Vegas just because I had such a shit bad attitude. Is anybody else feeling that energy? So I hazarded to put a post on my Facebook that was, what's the word I'm looking for, was addressing that whole energy. And, I'm all about positivity and programming your brain and paying attention to your subconscious mind. And so I really hesitate to talk about negative energy or feeling negative. However, this isn't a perfect world, and I think it's just bullshit to sit there and act like everything's perfect all the time. It doesn't serve anybody to sit there and not talk about what's going on. It doesn't serve anybody to act like I've got it perfect. I am happier than I've ever been in my life. My structure in my life, the relationships in my life. I'm having all of these beautiful collaborations and wonderful expressions of joy and love, both in my relationships and in my business and in my community and within my family. However, I found myself feeling this frustrated, fuck you energy, where I just wanted to flip the bird at anybody and everybody, just because this irritability had me going. I do want to talk about, Mercury retrograde and how it affects us. I've always and will always call Mercury retrograde the great leveler. And when I talk about that, what I mean is, even if you didn't want something to be exposed, it'll have a tendency to expose itself anyway. So maybe you have a secret, or maybe you have a subject you don't want to broach with a partner or a lover or a family member or a relationship. And however, some information, maybe you'll slip of the tongue, or someone will overlook your shoulder in a text that you're making, or maybe a conversation comes up on a social media platform, and then there you are suddenly exposed. And so you have to talk about these things. Sometimes Mercury retrograde will miscommunicate things in such a way that you find yourself having to straighten them out. So I always use that tool to my benefit by speaking about things or just waiting to see what gets exposed during Mercury retrograde. But as we all know, Mercury retrograde will drag up into our, drag this information up into our sphere so that we can address it. So I just take a big step back and play with that a little bit and let people expose themselves. So, like I was saying, Mercury retrograde comes along and exes always show up. How many of you guys have had exes show up or pop into your sphere, want to either reconnect, or they want to clear up some energy that was going on with something from the past? My ex called me over something happened 2.5 months ago. I had blocked him, rightly so. I blocked him. I know I don't use the block button often. I always feel like it's important to just address the shit. And, however, muddy water is best cleared when you leave it alone. So I just didn't want to go over it anymore. I didn't want to discuss it. I was done. The family and I had decided that enough was enough. And so my ex reached out through a secondary number and jumped on my phone and said, hey, I want to talk to you. And so this mood that I had going on yesterday it was explosive. And so I like landed on his face like a WWE wrestler, and I just pounded him. I took the opportunity and I went in for the kill. Poor guy. You know, he didn't really deserve that. However, I took that as a huge notice, and subsequently I limited my social what's the word I'm looking for? I limited my social environment. I kept myself a little bit isolated. I made sure that I was not going to be that one where I was like, you know, coming out scratching at other people that didn't deserve it. Now he did, and it felt really good. And I don't even feel bad about it because they needed to hear it. And maybe he needed to hear it the way I delivered it with the bird flying. So I did want to talk about this funky energy. And so I'm always my partner Moxie's barometer when it comes to astrology, because I will just literally feel Mercury well, no, Mercury's my shit because I was born during Mercury retrograde in my first house. However, Mercury's my shit. However, I always feel it a week or so before the shadow talks about it. I'm like, oh, that's right, I forgot Mercury's coming. Or even a couple days before things move into play, I'm already feeling them. So the first thing that I did was call Moxie and I said, all right, tell me 2 days out what's going on, because this is really, really intense. So as she described Saturn in the moon, which are two completely opposing energies, right? So Saturn square the moon, Saturn is very non-emotional. It's very functional. It's very evidence-based. It's very decisive. And it's just, I want what I want like a 2-year-old, and I don't care how I get it. And that was definitely the mood that I was in yesterday. And the moon is all about our feelings. So if you looked at Saturn square moon, it's like, is the evidence lining up with how I'm feeling? Is all of the decisions that I'm making line up with how I'm feeling? How do I feel about these things that are going on in my life? Are they in alignment? Are they happening the way that they should be happening? And so as you have Saturn square the moon, what you're looking at is taking a deeper look at how you're feeling. You're analyzing whether your life is lining up, and it's taking a good look at your foundation and checking in with whether your things are into alignment or not. So there's a lot of that funky energy we were talking about. So here's the feedback that I was getting from my followers, my subscribers, is that they were feeling restless. They were feeling irritable. I even literally was getting my old ass on to, and yeah, I'm old. I can say it. I know I don't get the whole you look good for your age shit, because here's what's true. 50 years old is still 50 years old. So as I was feeling this emotional, even Smog Frog over here, Noah was asking me, what the hell was my problem yesterday? He's like, you seem irritated, you seem mad. And I wasn't angry, I wasn't mad. It was just this frustrated feeling I couldn't put my finger on. So here's my ass on Google looking up menopause symptoms, because I wanted to know, could these be, I have not felt this hormonal in a while. And that's literally how I wanted to explain it, was that I was feeling hormonal, like I was pregnant or menstruating or PMSing or whatever, because it just had no logic to it, right? Usually I'm built like a man. I don't like to feel out of control emotionally. I like to know what the science or the math is behind it. Like road rage, somebody pissed you off and that is logical. So I feel out of control when I have emotions and I don't like them. And so if I feel like I'm going to cry, then I flip the script and I get mad. I don't know if guys do this, but as a female, that's my go-to. If I feel like my emotions are starting to bubble out of control, I get angry, because then I don't feel like I am managing things. So I start to pick apart my emotions, and then I get mad at them, and then I'll get mad at other people because I'm not in control. And emotions aren't meant to be or designed to be in control. Emotions are designed to be felt, flowed through, and moved. And yes, you can get to the bottom of them later, and you can play with the cause. What does that go back to? Where is that foundation sitting? And you can mess with it. However, emotions being all over the place is something that you're going to see common, especially with Mercury retrograde, dealing with communication. If somebody's not communicating with us well or communicating with others well, we get frustrated. So a lot of the feedback that I was getting from people, I just put it out there. Like I was saying a minute ago, I had finally hit the point where it's like, there's no way that I'm feeling this in isolation. I'm not an island unto myself. So other people must be feeling this too. And so I put it out there on Facebook. And like I said, I definitely don't like to talk about negativity, but it's also not serving anyone to ignore it. So I decided to just put it out there, and the consensus was the same. It was very similar energy. One of the girls said, I am like in my bathtub with a glass of wine as we speak. And she's like, I'm so frustrated. I can't get myself out of this mood. And so there was a lot of this. One of the other girls said, I feel like I'm chewing my own ear off, which is an amazing analogy, because, you know, how do you even do that? I was like, wow, okay, good job. Mary Beth had it on point. So anyways, there is a lot of that restless energy. And like I was describing it as cabin fever. So we also have the Mercury retrograde. And I always want to address this when it comes up. Hi, Amanda. I was sending some people your way. So I did want to talk about Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury retrograde has all of the common similarity stuff that, you know, we talk about, and I'm gonna go over that really quickly, and then I'll start taking some questions for those of you on my Facebook. If you want to jump on my YouTube, Karma on Deck Psychic, I'll be answering questions. If you type them on in there, I'll go ahead and flip some cards for you and answer some questions. So please jump on over and join my YouTube. I'll be on there shortly after this video. But Mercury retrograde is all about, Mercury is all about communication, and retrograde references, sometimes it references the opposite or the pulling away of or appearing to go retrograde in the sky. And so when retrograde happens, it means not communication isn't great. It'll flow differently than what you're expected. So Mercury retrograde focuses on your communication of all kinds. That references computers, electronics. Give your phone some downtime. I would recommend that you shut your phone off and shut your electronics off. Last night I actually discovered some little feature on my new phone that is a me time thing where it shuts all your apps off, and I can't even begin to tell you that how much my subconscious mind looks for those notifications. And I had the most peaceful downtime I've had in a really long time, because even Do Not Disturb wasn't working, but this literally shuts off every app except for what you ask it to. So my phone was literally a phone for a while, and then I went to take a selfie for the blue thing, and I had to actually activate my camera and my my gallery in order to send it back out. So shutting your electronics off and getting your brain shut down for a little while, shutting off your computer, shutting off your electronics, saging your energy and your space, making sure how you're interacting with others is on a level, keeping those big conversations to a minimum, unless you're like me and you want to just rip off the Band-Aid. I love Mercury retrograde, the great leveler. So it's communication of all kinds. So therefore, communication having to do with electronics, having to do with vehicles. So don't forget to add your vehicle into your communications. Your vehicle, any travel or airplane, anything having to do with travel, like going overseas or getting on a plane, that's all electronics as well. So pay attention to anything involving communication, electronics, anything with email, anything with phone calls. I literally went to the DMV the day that Mercury retrograde started, and I found myself standing in line 2 days in a row because my insurance company couldn't communicate with the DMV because their system was down. So phone systems, computer systems, emails. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've hit a sentence and didn't click send, or opened a message and didn't even, and they know that I read it but wasn't able to communicate that I had a moment to take a break from it. So pay attention to all those communications. So it's not only just face-to-face, it's your electronics, it's your computers, it's your travel. Give yourself extra space, give your loved ones a little extra grace and extra time. And don't sign any goddamn contracts right now. I would just stay away from that if you can. I was talking to a client the other day and just totally razzing her. I was like, what were you thinking? And she's like, the opportunity came up and it is what it is. But here's what's true. The world doesn't stop every 87 and a half days because Mercury retrograde is playing with us. It continues. So as we're moving forward through Mercury retrograde, just give yourself a little extra self-care, a little extra time. Be gracious, be kind. And first thing that everybody says when I talk about Mercury retrograde is they go, again? Yes, again, every 87.5 days. So anyways, I am going to jump over here onto my YouTube and answer questions, but I did want to address this. I didn't want to do it 2 times. So for those of you on my Facebook, come on over here and join me on Karma on Deck YouTube, where you can also get your weekly zodiac sign for free from Karma. If you want to book a one-on-one with me, karmaondeck.com. Thank you, Facebook, for joining me. If you guys have any questions, swoop on over and play with me over here. See you guys next time. And yeah, I'll be back on my lives. You'll be seeing more and more of that. All right. Hi, guys. So, hi, Pat. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me.
Hello.
Going to answer your questions now. So, anybody that's on here ever been familiar with any of this stuff that I've been talking about? If you have any questions, go ahead. So, Shauna Sanders is right here asking me, is this person seriously into me? So, I am going to take a look and pull some cards for that. How many of you guys are new? How many of you had a reading before? Do you have any questions about readings in general? Because I'm right here if you want to ask. Hi, Vivian Dang. What's going on? Hi, Shauna. Hello, Smog Frog. I dimed on him a little earlier. Star Travels, welcome. You want to ask a question too? And there's all of my DFC tribe. Thank you for all your support. I got 23 people watching me right now in the middle of an afternoon. All right, so this is for Shauna. She's asking a question about an individual in a love relationship, so let's take a look and see what this energy is. Shauna Sanders, and welcome. You can donate to my PayPal, and if you want to book a one-on-one, I'm going to put that karma. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted this one. All right, this is for Shauna. Did you meet this person through work? Ooh, this is a complicated dude. So here's the thing. This guy seems to be a lot of the perfect, a lot of the Disneyland, beautiful, like the image, the thing that you want them to be, right? I feel like they're going through some shit right now, though. I've got the Knight of Swords, which means they're a little agitated. I'm not seeing a lot of lovers cards for you in this individual. What I am seeing is complicated. I'm seeing that they're not looking for a relationship. They're very, I don't know if you met them at work or whatever. However, I'm seeing that it can be a little complicated for them. I'm also seeing the Nine of Cups, which is you kind of want more from them and they're willing to give right now. I would give them a little space and time only because I see the Empress card. They do feel like a fantasy to you. They do feel like they are very dynamic and you feel like they're perfect for you. However, I don't feel like they're very approachable. It might just be attitude. However, I would tell you to wait though, because the Empress card is all about timing. So I would just take a deep breath and ride it out. You are feeling as if they're not giving you the attention that you want right now. I wouldn't poke at it. I'm liking it just the way it is because it's telling me time and not a no. You'll get a Dino Daddy's TV. All right, let's see here. Star Travels, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with me. So Megan is saying, I bawled my eyes out for seemingly no reason today. I can't shake this feeling. What the fuck? Exactly. And that's exactly what I was talking about, was this, it's 31 viewers, 13 likes. This is 3113. That's kind of cool. But it's exactly the kind of energy that I was feeling globally. Like I was asking everybody, oh my God, my daughter even literally called me from work and said, Mom, what the hell? Astrologically, energy-wise, what's happening? Because I'm screaming at my staff and that's not like me. So I definitely check in with my people when I'm feeling wonky or off, and that's why I always talk and teach about meditation being the key to having the right kinds of answers when it comes to feeling overwhelmed, because if you know and understand the sound of your own voice and what your own chatter sounds like, it's much easier to shut out all those other elements, you know, too. So you got to post an actual question for me to get there. So Michaela said, I've never had a reading before. I can do a general spread. That's not so hard. Megan said, I'm sad today. Can you pull a card for me? Work through this. Yeah, I can do all of that. Woohoo! I love it. You guys play with me anytime. It's actually a lot of fun. So here's the thing about you guys coming to watch all of this. Hi, Sally. So for those of you that are your first time, where are you at in the world? Whether you like your reading before, like your reading or not, Subscribe, hang out. If it's your first time here and you got coerced into hanging out with Smog, you're not going to regret it. You're going to have a really good time. So it's not the worst time you're going to have all week. I promise you that. Okay, so let's see. Star Travels, pop a question so I can know what direction, because I have 2 or 3 different decks that I like to use for dealing with different topics. So I'd appreciate a specific question if you have it. So Michaela Harrison, I can do a reading for you. I'm just going to pop on here and do a general for you because you've never had a reading before, because I do like to wow you. It's fun. So this is for Michaela Harrison. She's never had a reading before, so let's get you going. This is for Michaela. Whew. So Michaela, you're incredibly emotional right now. You got the Queen of Cups, so your emotions are all over the place. You find yourself both that dichotomy that I was talking about. You've got the 4 of Cups and the 3 of Cups. 4 of Cups is wanting to be social. 3 of Cups is wanting to retreat toward family. I see tension for you, a lot of deadlines. Michaela, you have a definite feeling of suspicion when it comes to individuals and their honesty right now. You have the 5 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups is my Loch Ness Monster. Loch Ness Monster is being kind of like the bullshit somebody wants to sell you and you don't really believe their story. Things are moving a little quicker than you have the patience for. You're like, I don't want to make decisions on the fly. Things are moving quickly. You might find yourself being busier or having overtime or not the time that you wanted. I do feel like you're single. Either that or you have a definite male energy in your space that's being bossy. Curious as to why you're feeling lonely, though. You do have some social people around you, but you're feeling as if your voice isn't being heard, feeling like kind of like a ghost in your own home. Mama Smog, I like it. All right, so let's see. That was for Michaela. If you want a one-on-one with me, you know how to do it. karmaondeck.com. You can pop in there and book a one-on-one with me. This is for Megan. Megan Shaw is asking, can you pull a card to help me get through this? Yes, I would be more than happy to do that for you. Did all you guys subscribe, or are you just visiting? Where'd you go? This is for Megan Shaw. Are you still on here, Megan? All right, here we go, Megan. Temperance and balance, tendency to be stubborn, a little bit of success. So here's the thing. You're blocking yourself right now. You asked me how you're going to get through this. You're going to start thinking about changing your mindset. You have not had some balance in your life in a little while, and you're fighting your progress. I don't know if you've done some self-sabotage lately, or if you've played when you should have been working or working. Just your balance is off, because right now what I'm seeing is temperance. I'm curious to who you want an apology to, because this is coming up with the Knight of Wands. However, I do see bad attitude from you, which is telling me that you're feeling a little frustrated and snappy yourself. Highly emotional, feeling frustrated, and you've kind of not stopped taking action. You're waiting for things to shift and change for you. And I don't know if you had a breakup with a relationship, but I'm seeing that you feel some betrayal, 10 of Swords, with your relationship, which is feeling stabbed in the back. You also have the 4 of Wands, which is referencing commitment. I don't know if it's divorce or a breakup, but I'm seeing definite indecision on you. Remember, indecision is a decision. So as you're moving forward, if you're not sure what direction you're going, you're just going to float aimlessly on whatever current takes you in that direction. Because you have this 3 of Wands, 2 of Swords, indecision, and then you have the Justice card. You're paying the price for other people's choices right now. It's time for you to start taking a step into your own leadership and stop being a little tugboat. You have a lot of relationship energy, though, too. So if you want a one-on-one regarding your relationship energy, please reach out. It's kind of hard to pick. I'm not going to pick your relationship apart in a public forum. So, hey, so this is Kulana said, I'm a subby, always excited to see a Sag reading. Sages are my favorite people. Will I get the job at Envision? This is for Passionness. How you been? What's going on? Let's take a look and see what's going on for you as far as what the job is looking like at Envision. So this is for Passion. Victim of myself. Megan, stick around. I got all kinds of tricks for you. All right, so here we go. How was it? How was it for you guys with your first reading? I want to know. You're welcome. All right, so this is for Passionness. We're going to look for certain, so I am going to do, so for those of you that are watching that want to do a tarot lesson, I am going to teach some tarot classes probably later tonight. I do have some clients coming in for coaching, so I'm going to be offline for a little while in between, but I am going to probably come in and produce some of my tarot lesson classes, and those are a shit ton of fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them live or put them on Patreon, but all right, here we go. This is for Passionness. Where'd you go? Passionness. Okay, this is for you, darling. And you can ask just about any question you want to ask, and we'll see if it shows up for you. It's not that big a deal, whatever direction you want to take it. Okay, so as far as this job that's going up for you at Envision, couple things that I'm seeing with it. Right now, they are making a decision because I do have the Two of Swords. Thank you for the likes. You guys did great. Yeah, this is for you, Passion. So I'm seeing the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is indecision, or they're about to make a decision. If you see the scale, that's about to happen right now. I see that money is getting tight for you. You know, I see the Five of Coins, and that's why I describe the cards for you as I go through. I'm the great myth buster. I'm the one that's going to tell you what's really going on the back end, so you're not feeling confused. But I have the Five of Coins, and the Five of Coins is all about like your budget. Things are getting tight. You're starting to get a little bit worried. I don't know if you are currently in school or if you're thinking about going back to school, but I am seeing education being a component right now for you, or maybe it's even if it's even your kind of education or a small education that you have to do. I am seeing the Queen of Wands for you, so I would have to give you a good yes because you have a lot of leadership cards in your deck. I do feel though once they make this decision that it's going to move quickly and you're going to be a little overwhelmed. So I do see the Ace of Swords coming, so the decision is happening now. Good luck to you. I love seeing success in the cards, and that makes me happy because you are a sub of mine. All right, let me browse real quick and look at these comments because they skipped a few things. So I want to welcome everybody here. I did talk to Shauna, Smog, Vivian, Foxy, hello. Oh, there's like a dozen in a row here. Much love from DFC. Much love from Foxy. Thank you, thank you. Checks. White Noise LP Gaming. Michaela, let's see. Kulani. I love you too. If I donate, do I get a Dino Grow? Yeah, I'll donate. Oh, hey, Faye, Broken Wing said I dropped a tip. Good luck with the live stream. Thank you so much. There's It's Waka. Broken Wings. Hi, Sally. Amanda, welcome. You guys are talking shop in there. I'm kind of lost. Some of them might subscribe. I don't know. Oh, thank you for the subscription from Broken Wings. I don't know who you guys are talking about on that one, so I'm going to skip it. All right, so that was for Passionness. I'm a little caught up here now. So after Passion, let's see who asked. Kalana said, we are awesome people. Sages are my favorite. My honey's a Sag. So I'm going to ask you guys that are new here how much you know about astrology and whether you know about your sun, moon, and rising sign. Because here's what's interesting. Your sign isn't really just the sign you were born under. It's actually 2 more signs. So if you guys can dig up your birth certificate, or if you know your place and date and time, date, and place of your your birth will tell you about your other two signs. Your rising sign is how people see you, and your moon sign is how you think. So if people are talking about their different moods and moon and sun and rising energy, now you'll know what they're talking about. So this is Michaela Harrison who's asking, oh, Foxy too is asking about, will I find the love of my life? Now, I can't tell you whether you will or you won't, but I will tell you whether they're present in your life. And let me just give you my one bit of advice that I always like to say. If you have to ask, they're not the one. Is James, is David, is Phil, is Bob the love of my life or my soulmate? If you have to ask, the answer is no. So this is for how likely am I to receive disability? Is that a question I can ask? Yes, absolutely it is. I am going to use my Dragon Tarot for that. And then I'm going to answer Foxy's question after that. And that's where I'm at. I usually try to go in order, but when it gets really busy, I just pick who I'm drawn to. So forgive me on that. So this is for Michaela. She's asking, how likely am I to receive disability? So in doing a tarot reading, what I have a tendency to do is not just look for what I see, but look for what I don't see. And there's certain cards that you would look for if it's not going to happen. I would see the Devil card and the Tower card. Tower card being things falling apart. Devil card, people telling you they're a lie. Death card meaning big changes. So they don't have the meanings you think they do. So let's take a look and see Michaela's disability. I see that money is tight for you, though. Right now you don't have it. Page of Coins is showing up. The Magician, you might be asked to go in for an interview. The Fool card is telling me that yes, there's some opportunity for you. I am seeing a possibility, and let me tell you why. The Hangman is wait. You've been waiting for this for a while, and things are starting to look like a shit show. I do have the Ace of Wands, which means it's possible, and the Fate card showing up, which means it's about time for you. There is some strong tension going on in your life right now, and the pressure is crazy. However, the Ace of Coins is telling me that the likelihood of this happening for you is a successful yes. Ace of Coins being the pinnacle of that. However, the tension is going to hit first. So don't expect it to be a quick and easy answer. It's going to take a lot of work. You might be interviewed a few times before that happens. Now let's talk to Foxy. Noah, somebody's texting me. Oh, Noah's texting me while I'm trying to work. Don't do that. All right, so this is for Foxy, looking at your relationship stuff. And then I'm going to scroll back down. Feels good when you get ignored, Kiku. Good luck with the stream. Anyways, what does that mean? Feels good. I got to let you guys know, sometimes I don't see all of the chat as it moves forward while I'm doing a live stream. It's kind of preventive from me playing with it while I'm looking at it. It kind of moves itself out of the way. So sorry if I didn't catch some of these comments, guys. So what was who was I talking to? I'm losing some of these comments. Hold on, guys. Let me catch up with you. Oh, Michaela said, I'm loving this. You couldn't be more accurate. Where'd it go? I was just talking to someone and I lost it. I was just looking. Sally? No, it wasn't Sally. Shit. Hang tight, guys. I'm already there. Hold on. If you were listening, who was I just talking to? It was before Foxy. There we go. I got you, babes. This is for Foxy, asking about love life. All right, you ready? Take a deep breath and listen. That is Jameson. So for those of you that are new, we have a mascot who is snoring on my desk. Hey, come here. He's a grumpy old man. All right. This is for Foxy. Foxy, you got to find your joy. First thing that comes up is Five of Cups. Five of Cups means you're not enjoying what's in front of you because you're looking for that relationship. You're looking at everything as lacking. You've got the Five of Pentacles, which is hopeless. Don't lose hope. It's just not the right time for you. Why would you take somebody to babysit you in the meantime while you wait for the real one to come around? Make sure you're spending time doing the things you love. I am seeing the Magician, and the Queen of Wands. So you've been putting yourself out there when it comes to work. I see a lot of travel coming up for you. Family, I see you are hopeless though. You're feeling as if things aren't happening the way you want them to. 10 of Pentacles, legacy. There's also been some drama going on around you. What I mean is legacy is you want to be building with someone. You're kind of feeling out of it, out of the loop and left out. We do have the 8 of Swords. There's drama going on all around you. 8 of Wands, you're tired of waiting. But I'm also seeing some celebration, which is the 9 of Pentacles. So I'm seeing the summertime being great for you and travel coming up. Enjoy that while you can. I feel like this isn't just the right time for you. 3 of Swords, it just feels like every time you've tried to talk to somebody, it's landed on its face and been a little bit of miscommunication here and there. I would wait through Mercury retrograde anyway, but you're just kind of watching and waiting. You got to go out and do the things that you love. You will, but not right now. That's what I'm seeing. You know what? I didn't learn how to stream Smog. I've been doing it for a year, but sometimes when the comments, like when you guys all commented at once, it bumps up the comments so I can't see them. And then I have to actually go back so I can make sure I don't miss anything. So Kulana is asking, I didn't get the job I was hoping for. Can I get a little guidance from the cards? Yes, so this is for Kulana. Didn't get the job I was hoping for. All right, let's take a look and see Kulana. Yeah, so for those of you that are new, you can't suck at this. It's a fun time. I'm entertaining anyways. So let's say Kulana, didn't get the job I was hoping for. Can I get a little guidance from the cards? So I use the Mystic Dreamer deck when I want to look at emotions. I look at the Dragon Tarot when I want to look at decision making, money, and career. So I'm not quite sure how I want to approach that one. However, I do want to look at your emotional state, because usually how you talk to your subconscious mind is how you direct the rest of your life. So let's take a look and see. Jameson is snoring. Like, you know, I'm talking about how I just learned how to stream. I did not. All right, so here we go. This is for Kalani. So here's the thing. You're coming from a place of fear mentality, and I feel like you're very careful with everything because you're worried about how things are going to turn out a little bit. You're afraid to move forward on your next step because as you're moving forward, you are mapping as well. You can't know where you're going unless you know where you are, right? You know how that works. However, your decision making has been all over the place. I'm also seeing that you probably should have had that job that you were getting, and I think they made a huge mistake. You have the 4 of Pentacles. You would have been better at it. Don't be surprised if they don't reach out later when it doesn't work for them. I'm also picking up something is coming your way because you have the High Priestess. I'm sorry, I lied. Yeah, you have the Empress and the High Priestess. I think your intuition was telling you you should have got that job, but they may have been doing some favoritism or something. You didn't want to be involved in those dynamics anyway. But here's the interesting thing for you, Michaela. Sorry, I wasn't talking to Michaela, but I just saw your name. So anyways, like I'm saying, I am definitely seeing that you have some dynamics coming your way regarding a relationship. So you have the 2 of Pentacles. I would be curious to find out from you if you have actually 2 choices that you're having to make a decision between. So hopefully that helps you, Kalana. So for Julie Ann, I'm feeling very stuck in my career and I'm working in some illustrations for a children's book on the side. Will this children's book get published? Will it allow me to be more financial freedom? So let's take a look and see what Julie Ann has for her children's book. Let's see if it's going to get published. And then after that, I'm going to quit for the day and go play. I have a client coming in a few minutes. Thank you so much for joining me, but you will see me tomorrow. And I'm thinking about coming back on later tonight and teaching some tarot lessons. So stay tuned, pay attention, click the little bell, make sure you get your notifications when I come back on. I will let you know though that tomorrow is going to be for the signs of Leo, Virgo, and Libra, and then I'll be back up for the week. So let's take a look and see what's going on for Julie Ann regarding her children's illustrations book. Let's see what's going on with that. I am picking up that it's going to get published though. Now we need to just find out if it's going to be money for you. I do feel like you're backed into a corner right now. We have the 5 of Wands. Definitely going to be published, just not going to feel like the money you were expecting or hoping for. I do feel like you're stuck in a little anxiety. I am seeing the Ten of Wands. The cool thing about tarot cards is they're images, not words. But if you look at this, you can pretty much pick up the energy that's going on in her life right now. For those of you that are watching, the Ten of Wands has got a guy covering his ears and he's overwhelmed, feeling a little frustrated. And this is that energy of too many things happening at once and you don't know which direction to start because, you know what I'm saying? It's all kind of feeling hectic for you. There's some decisions that are in the balance and that you're worried about with money. You're really just trying to keep your circle small. In the meantime, you have the Three of Cups. So that's like you keeping things tiny with your family, your circle small. I do see the King of Cups for you, which is all about emotional mastery. And I'm curious what's going on with you with relationship-wise because you have the Two of Cups. Things are moving kind of quickly. Money is an issue for you, but I am seeing that there's going to be a little delay when this book gets published. So I would just have some patience with it. Right now isn't the time, but it's going to happen. Woohoo! Don't be discouraged. Thank you so much. I did feel like I was going to get the job. I feel like they made a mistake. Is because it feels like it wasn't even supposed to happen that way. Mercury retrograde, for all you know, they were going to hire you and they accidentally fucked that up and turned around and said, we hired this person instead of that one, or maybe they couldn't get a hold of you, and after they hired the other person, they realized they didn't communicate with you or whatever. I do feel like it was a mistake. She said, I am overwhelmed. 2 kids and a full-time job and a stressed husband. Yeah, you got your hands on your head doing the freak out thing. So, Michaela Harrison, remove that so your name isn't with all of that information. I'm going to copy it for you, and I'm going to remove your information so you don't have personal info on the fucking internet. But I'm going to give you my email, and when I'm all done, actually, if you want to hold on a second and just stay tuned and watch this. I have a client coming, so I might have to jump off in the fly. We have a coaching kid. So Michaela, hang on. I'm going to look this up for you, right? You ready to find out? So this is how easy it is for you to look up your sun, moon, and rising sign. Are you ready? Anybody else? All right, so I deleted that because your name, Michaela Harrison, is right there, and I don't want anybody to be able to look you up. So you go into astro.com, okay? And I'm going to post it because I can. So you're going to go to astro.com, okay? So if you guys that are following along, you can learn how to do this. So you go into horoscope, astro.com, and you go into free horoscopes, and you can add somebody. All right, so it's going to ask you for your information. So extended chart selection. And you're going to add a new person. All right, so you're going to put your information in here. This is for Michaela. And you said your information. Oh, let me go to the bottom. Oops. Shit. Uh-oh. You're going to have to email me that information. So anyways, you want to be able to put it in there and it'll give you that info. Michaela, I'm going to go to my email. So email me that again so that I can pull it up for you live so you can learn your sun, moon, and rising and what that means to you. Because it's a lot of fun. So your sun sign is the sign you were born under. Your moon sign is how you process emotions and how you react with your feelings and how you think. And your rising is how people see you, which is really cool because they're very drastically different energies. My energy is I'm a Capricorn, and I am a Pisces rising, which means that everybody sees me as a Pisces. My true node and all of that is all about Pisces and my healer energy, etc. And then I'm an Aquarius moon, which is how I process all of my emotions. So hang tight. I want that information from you. Oh, boom. All of my stuff is delayed. Thank you for the donation. I know your first name. Okay, Michaela, can you email that to me? It's not letting me. I don't know what to tell you. Mercury retrograde. All right, so anyways. So at any rate, when you go onto your, when you go onto AstroDient, which is astro.com, you go to free horoscopes and you click make a chart. That's all you got to do. And it'll ask you your first name, your gender, your birth date, your place and time of birth, and then boom, it'll produce sun, moon, and rising stars, and it'll ask you to confirm, and it'll tell you what your signs are. My daughter is a Capricorn moon, a Capricorn moon, Capricorn sun, and a Pisces rising and a Pisces moon. So she's got double that energy there. But anyways, that's pretty much how you do it. It's so amazing to be able to look at things differently, because I never could identify with astrology, and now the only thing I can complain about is that I didn't look at it sooner. Because what's happening with it is now I know that I'm a Pisces. I've never been a Capricorn in general. I mean, I'm comfortable being practical. That's why I'm a paramedic. Get it? Practical healer is a perfect paramedic, because I'm an outward sign Pisces, which is all about the healer and intuition, etc. It's a perfect marriage for a description of a paramedic, right? Is the healer and the practical. But anyways, guys, I'm going to cut off right now. I am going to pop back on a little bit later when I've cleared my energy a little bit, had a little downtime with the family, and a little late night stuff. We're going to have some talks about astrology. Thank you for hanging out with me. I definitely appreciate the donations, the time, the attention, the subscriptions. If you want a one-on-one with me, go ahead and book karmaondeck.com. If you want some questions about astrology answered, you can also reach out there. My email is present. You can also find me on social media. All my social media, karmaondeck.com, is right there on the banner. And if you want to know more, you can go to the See More, and there's a bunch of answers to questions there. If you want to look at this later, Michaela, we can do it. You can book an appointment, or I'll just email you back. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending your time. Like, subscribe, share, and I will catch you next time. See you on the flip side.